Hello, and this is an introduction to LFM software. Right now we've got a scan database open, and we actually have a number of scans. These blue dots in here are all the scans. And if we take a look at it, we have, I don't know, 15 scans or so comprising this project. LFM has a couple of options that aren't available in other software. Firstly is the bubble view. You can just click anywhere in the scan, and this is a view of exactly what the laser scanner saw from this position. Now what we're looking at here is not a photograph. We're looking at the raw laser data, and I can prove to you that it is laser data. If we were interested in this nipple right here, I can click on that, take a volume around it, and I'm just, this is adjustable at it defaults to 1 meter, but we're just going to make it a half meter. And in this case, we're going to look at all of the points in that half meter. So this subdraw is 1 over n, and this time it's 1 over 1, so we're looking at all the points. I go OK, come back to my 3D view, and there is my drain valve coming out of that insulated line. The thing about LFM is LFM allows you to work in the LFM view. Most importantly, it works in the CAD view. Here is me. I previously loaded up all the data from this project, and it is a matter of a few seconds of loading the data. It's not an overnight thing. And to show you how fast the update rate is, if I click on that magnifying glass right there, that's now showing the data from this view. I can update the view again, and there's the data. So this is where the engineer would work, or the designer rather, and I'm just in AutoCAD Civil 3D. This works in Autodesk products, Bentley products, Intergraph, Aviva, and some VR context. Coming back to the LFM view, if I hit a reset on the volume and zoom all, we'll see all of our plant again. Now you have to remember, each scan comprises about 40 million points, and without counting, we got 15 or 20 scans here, so we got lots of points. Another thing that LFM is critical, that it's capable of doing, is opening numerous databases simultaneously. This project's an excellent example of that. We went out and scanned the wall of this building because the owner was thinking of putting some new economizer vessels in this area. And believe it or not, they changed their mind and decided to put the economizers up here on the north wall. So we went out and did another scan in the exact same area, and we were able to tie in the two data sets. If I bring a bubble view up here now, this is a totally different project, totally different scan position. And here's what the scanner saw from this area. And actually the owner is going to try and put the two new economizers in between the wall and that piece of pipe. Regardless, with LFM, we can come in. I'll take a volume around this foundation now. We'll take a 1 meter volume, and we're going to look at 1/3 of the points in that area. I'll go OK. Look at it in 3D, and you'll see that we have two different projects, but the data is sitting right on top of each other for a piece of pipe, wide flange, foundation, wide flange right in here, the valve. All of the data is sitting perfectly on top of each other, so you know the survey is good. If I come back into the AutoCAD now and quickly just update, there's my foundation in AutoCAD. Now if I had a full AutoCAD drawing in the background, this data would pop right in with the AutoCAD drawing, and we're going to get to that in a second. The most useful thing for LFM is this, for a designer. Let's pretend we wanted to put a, actually right there, let's say we're going to tie into the mating face of that flange, and we are going to put a tie point on the center of that flange, and we're going to remove some piping. First thing we do is find out how big that piece of pipe is. So I click on diameter, and there's my piece of pipe. I'll take a volume around that flange and go OK. Look at the flange. There's my mating face of my flange. There's my piece of pipe we just created. Come into objects, I'll click on extend, center line of flange, put a tie-in in, come into my measurement window, and there's my XYZ and plant grid from my starting points to start doing my design. If I come over to the CAD package now and just update, there is my CAD package, and I can come in here and I will bring in my tie point. There's the tie point we created, and it's in CAD, and it's a CAD object. So we can start working right from there in CAD. Now another thing that LFM does is we can actually create a piece of pipe on this side and send it back. So I only have to select a point on the piece of pipe, and we have created that piece of pipe. If I now take this button, come back to my LFM view, and click on CAD objects, there's the other piece of pipe I created. Now it's a CAD object in LFM. It can be adjusted anywhere you want to send it. If I take a look in my bubble view, so this is the pipe we created. If I go into objects, all objects, there's my piece of pipe. So the one thing that you have to realize, it's a two-way street. The laser data exists here in LFM, and we work with the laser data here, and we push it over to our CAD package. So there's our design, there's our CAD package, we've created tie points. We've also taken any model from our design package, we created a new piece of pipe, and we pushed it back to LFM, and we've showed it both in the laser data and in the bubble view. So there's some of the things about LFM that separate it from other laser software packages. It has a full clash detection capability, and you can also delete points that are going to be demolished for construction, and they show up as demolished points instead of showing up as gray or colored points on this side. They'll show up as red points. If we don't color the LFDs, we just make everything the same. We just have gray points. And one more thing about this view, this single piece of pipe is representing an entire model of a plant. And obviously if we were looking at this single flange inside of a plant, we wouldn't see it because of all of the CAD objects in the way. But just by going clip, we only see the CAD objects that are inside of our volume. Come back to our model view. If we were interested in anything else that we can see, we can click on it and go directly to it both in our laser data and in our AutoCAD. I can put a volume on that elbow up there that's not insulated. And here I can adjust this volume. I want to get a little bit more data in all directions. Then we're going to look at all the points on that elbow. There's our elbow. You can see our insulation and the clouding. Come to the CAD package now, and a simple click of the button, and we're updated and we're working in that area. Now, this is obviously something that can make the design teams much more accurate, and you'll reduce your fit-up errors, because clash detection is available in LFM, and you actually clash against the laser points. You don't have to have a solid model, and you can get a clash report against the laser, not against other solid model requirements to run clash. That's about it. That's the highlights. Its ability to show different areas very quickly in the bubble view and in the 3D view, and also the fact that it comes directly into the design package. So the designers are not learning anything new. It's just these two little palettes. We can also attract a bubble view from this this side, from AutoCAD side. We can request bubble views. If we let's just close this one, and we'll close this one too, so we know we have no bubble views open in LFM. We back over to the CAD side, and we click on the bubble. We immediately launch the bubble, and we can create volumes from here again if we were interested in that flange. Go OK. Come into LFM. There's my flange. If I go zoom all, there's my flange. So LFM is a two-way street with the design package. The laser data is pushed into the CAD package, and the existing model can be pulled into LFM and shown in the bubble field.